welcome back to my channel. We've got another exciting, vibrant chat for you today. And this one's kind of special for me because it's with one of my dear friends, Monica Paz, who is a functional nutritionist and lifestyle practitioner. And I've known Monica for about 3 years now, and her and I actually share some clients. So she is a dear friend, very knowledgeable, and I know you're going to enjoy today's chat. So get yourself a cup of tea, curl up, and enjoy today's vibrant chat. And don't forget to subscribe down below to get updates on upcoming videos and just stay in the loop. So have an amazing day and enjoy the chat. Bye. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Vibrant Chats. And today I've been waiting for this chat because it is with my dear friend, Monica Paz, who's a functional nutritionist and lifestyle practitioner. And Monica and I have known each other for several years, and we have mutual clients. And so without further ado, Monica Paz. Monica, welcome.
Thank you, Leanne. I'm so excited to be here. I have also been waiting for this day.
This has been, you and I have known each other for what, 3 years, 2 years?
Probably going on 3.
And we have 3 to 4 clients, mutual clients. And I don't know about you, but I think we were just kindred spirits from the first time we met. So we kind of speak the same language.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Absolutely.
So I am just so excited. And I think this is going to be a great segment. So let's jump right in because it is after the holidays and we want to educate some people on some things that they can do to support themselves. But let's start with, so you're a functional nutritionist. And I think a lot of people are going to go, what? There's a different kind of nutritionist? So can you explain what is the difference between a functional nutritionist and what people would deem a traditional nutritionist?
Yes. So I was trained actually as a registered dietitian, just to add a little bit more confusion to that. And so in the conventional medicine model, dietitians go to school and get an undergraduate degree. They do an internship and they take boards. So they become registered. And so I did that route. Then I went and got a master's of nutrition, of human nutrition degree. I worked in hospitals, but I found that was not cutting it. It just wasn't what I thought it was, And then through a healthcare crisis of my own, I found functional nutrition. And functional nutrition follows this model of functional medicine, which is looking at the body as a system. And so we look at systems that connect with each other rather than in the conventional model where you look at, you go to your neurologist for your headaches, and then you go to the orthopedist for your knee pain, and they don't talk to each other. Right. In functional nutrition and functional medicine, we're looking at a system, and systems connect and are connected in one body, your body.
Got it. And interesting enough, a few months ago, we had Judy Hahn on here, and she's a functional practitioner. So that kind of goes in alignment with what you're talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, we say that in functional nutrition, we say that all things matter. In other words, anything you notice that's going on in your body matters. You're an individual, and the body is one. So we're looking at it as we have a connection. It's like an orchestra that is playing in tune. So when one of the members is out of tune, the whole thing is off.
It's so true. I think, I think a lot of times people do not think that something that is happening in their life, in their body, is connected to their gut, to how their body functions. And it all matters. It, like you said, everything matters. It all is connected. And it's not some, and I think this is a big thing that I have so a lot of times with my health coaching clients is it's not necessarily what you're putting in your mouth also that's affecting your body. It can be other things too.
Yes, you can have toxic environment, you can have a toxic relationship that is
Yes.
affecting you. But if you think about, if you have a chronic condition, if you think about when that condition showed up in your body, it usually happened at a time of crisis,
Right.
at a time
That's
when you were under a lot of stress.
that's big. And you can have episodes at
Mhm.
time of crises.
Yes.
Can have, and
Drugs.
so that's something for everyone to really think about and take pause to kind of let that absorb, right? And
Mhm.
because there's some dots to connect there. And
Mhm.
if you go back and think about, let's say someone has some type of health system, maybe an autoimmune, maybe they have something going on with them. If they go back and they think about, when did I start feeling these symptoms? When did these things come on? You can actually start to create this story of what happened.
Yes, and absolutely, that's exactly how we work. And so when I work with clients, I give them what is called a matrix, or I create this matrix. It's like a map, a roadmap that helps me understand their story, like you said. And
Right,
so we start out with birth and go all the way till today. And at birth, you have these things that you did not know about, your genetics, your grandparents, your parents.
right,
How you were born actually matters, whether you were a vaginal birth versus a C-section, whether you were breastfed or not. There's adverse childhood experiences. So we call those antecedents. And that stuff, it's the body remembers and the body carries that.
right,
And then there are triggers. Triggers are things like a divorce or a house fire or a child who's ill. Any of these things are triggers for something else.
right,
And then we also talk about mediators. And mediators are the things that are keeping you where you are. It could be yoga that is keeping you calm and, soothe, or it could be an alcoholic father, an alcoholic husband. That's a mediator that is keeping you in disease.
Where would you put, so, we've been as a globally, right? We've been dealing with COVID. We've been dealing with this global pandemic. How have you seen that physically come out in your clients?
Oh, absolutely. So that is
Talk
something
about,
that
I
we're
mean,
going to,
within mine, it's been, so I can only imagine within your clientele, you've been seeing a lot.
yes. And so when you think about COVID-19 and the implications of the stress and anxiety that we're all under,
Right.
that's a mediator. That's a huge mediator, but it's also a trigger because it could trigger so many things. And we are going to be talking about this for years to come. We're going to be next year, the following year, 5 years from now, asking people, when did your, let's say, autoimmunity show up?
Right.
Oh, during COVID-19, I
Right.
was blah, blah, blah. And, as I said to you before we got started, I have a mother who um, became so completely anxious, and because of the isolation and not seeing anybody, and community is one of those so important things.
Huge.
um, she went into depression and she is now on hospice, and that all triggered by COVID-19. She's 88 years old, and
Mhm.
so this stress that has overtaken her body, she does not know how to cope with it.
Right.
And so it could be a trigger, it could be a mediator, it
Right.
could be.
We are seeing, and not to go sidetrack too much, but we're going to see a whole new layer of PTSD coming out of
Yes.
here. We're going to see a whole new, maybe genre, if you will, of mental health issues. I mean, I'm seeing it within all of my clients, the effects of it. All health and wellness practitioners are seeing the effects with their clients. And yeah, I think it's going to take us as a community of how do we support these people and support ourselves supporting these people.
Absolutely. And that is a huge part of what I do with my clients is I have a huge, I mentioned earlier that I had a health crisis, and that health crisis had to do with anxiety and stress at the job that I was doing. I was in medical sales for many, many years. And we have these skills. So on the other side of the matrix is like, what do you do when these things show up? And so we're talking about sleep and relaxation, exercise and movement, nutrition and hydration, networks and community.
Yes.
So we have all of these things that are things that you can do to cope. And so that's kind of my specialty is helping people cope with anxiety and stress.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Well, what is probably yet another stressful and anxious time is the holidays. And we have survived the holidays, but now we are on the other side of it. And, you know, I know within my business, and I know you get the same thing, that post-holiday rush of people coming saying, I need to lose weight. I need to get back on track. So I need to do Whole30. I want to do keto. I want to do intermittent fasting. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can only imagine what it's like because in my business, it's just crazy right after the holidays. And so I thought it would be great to hear from you that, you know, from a functional nutrition perspective, what are some things that you can give first of all, maybe some recommendations or help people with this mindset post holidays? Because people literally get in a frenzy after the holidays.
Yes.
And what are some things that you could tell them, first of all, before, you know, like, hey, just some things to think about post holidays?
So the things that I would say to people is as they are trying to embark in the next yo-yo dieting, to think about learning what their bodies are trying to tell them. As I said earlier, we're all unique, all things matter, and all things are connected. And so are your knees hurting? Are you getting migraine headaches? Are you sleeping well? And so we like to say in functional nutrition that if you're not pooping, not sleeping, and your blood sugar is not under control, you cannot pass go. That means that if you're waking in the middle of the night and your sleep is disrupted, your blood sugar is probably disrupted. What does blood sugar have anything to do with? It has to do with your adrenals. Your adrenals have to do with controlling blood sugar and stress. And when you're stressed out, your blood sugar is all over the place. Have you noticed that when you're stressed out, you're craving a lot of sugar? Yes. And then when you satisfy that craving by eating something very sweet that makes you feel good temporarily, your blood sugar is high, but that blood sugar comes down. When it comes down, it comes crashing down, right, which gives you that feeling of feeling tired, fatigue. And this is what I hear the most from people is I have no energy. I'm fatigued. When I wake up in the middle or in the morning, I feel like I haven't had enough rest. And those are real issues beyond losing weight. So just know that when you regulate your blood sugar, when you're eating the food that your body is actually needing, and when you are controlling your blood sugar, you're controlling your weight. And so weight is just a side effect.
Yes, I was just going to say.
Whatever you're eating.
It's a positive side effect of doing all those other things to take care of your body.
Exactly. And it all begins in the gut. So all disease begins in the gut, according to Hippocrates, the father of medicine,
Yes,
so many hundreds of years ago. And so consider that anything that you're eating is affecting you one way or the other. So either your food is your medicine or it's your poison. Mm-hmm. And I always say, you know how people are feeling tired and fatigued all the time? They're living that way, but they don't know where to turn.
Right.
So that's where I was. I didn't know where to turn. I had a master's in nutrition. I was a registered dietitian. I didn't know where
Yeah,
to turn.
right.
So what I do is I help people understand their bodies and listen to their bodies, speak
Mm,
body language. I teach
mm,
them how to speak body, because you know how to speak languages, but you don't know how to speak body, because your body speaks to you all day long. And
right.
so are you listening? So that's where I start. I start teaching people how to speak body, how to listen to their bodies. And then I teach them how to use food, which is what we're supposed to be eating, not food like substances that are man made, but food, real food
Right.
as medicine. So if you were to use your food as medicine, imagine what the outcome would be. You would be able to live the life that you've always dreamed of,
Right.
not being preoccupied with your weight or your sleep or your blood sugar crashes.
Right. And I think this is where, I, as a health and nutrition coach, I get frustrated with clients because all of these fad diets are out there and there really is no magic bullet, but yet it's so simple. Eat whole, real food, exercise your body, hydrate your body, get
Mhm.
rest, manage your stress, and
Connect with people.
connect with people and connect with that mind body connection. Because if you are truly listening to your body, you will understand the cues that it's trying to give you. I tell clients often, remember, the body will always win. If you don't listen to the cues,
Yes.
it will take you down.
Yes.
Your body will always win. Do not try to outsmart your body.
Yes.
You'll lose every time.
Yes. Absolutely.
So with this post holiday, I probably got some folks listening to this going, that's great and all.
Yeah.
What can I do? So what are some tips that you could tell someone that they could do starting today to start to feel better and start to take care of themselves?
Okay. So the first thing that I would recommend that people do is something as simple as drinking two, not one, but 2 glasses of purified water every morning when they first wake up. Just think about it. You've been asleep for at least 8 hours. You're dehydrated. You need to get ahead of that. That will help you move your joints better, have less pain, feel more energized. And even it has been shown to improve dry eye. Can you believe that?
Interesting.
Yes. And so think about moisture. You know, your
Yes.
skin will be better, your hair will be better, you're flushing out toxins, you're going to feel, your joints will feel better. The second thing is not to take anything away, but actually to add something. And one thing that you cannot go wrong with is adding vegetables to your diet. And one very easy way to do that is to get a great blender, high-speed blender, and start blending vegetables. And so, for example, if you make a green smoothie in the morning,
Mhm.
everything changes. Everything changes, I promise you. And you do that for a couple weeks, but also start tracking how you feel. So today, my joint pain is 5 out of 10.
Mhm.
Keep that little tracking method, not your weight, not anything else, but just say from 1 to 10, how are my joints feeling? Try that. What happens is you're crowding out the processed foods when you eat the vegetables. And so, for example, a smoothie could be any vegetables, I promise you. But to give it that little bit of a sweet taste, you could add some berries in there, some strawberries, some blueberries, even a half a pear, something like that. And then greens, a carrot, some celery, some cucumber. I mean, basically think salad with tons of greens, a little bit of sweetness, and even some cocoa powder if you want it to be like chocolatey. If you want it to be creamy, add some avocado or some coconut milk or some hemp milk or some almond milk. And you will have a very nutritious breakfast. But I highly recommend.
And this is what people underestimate about a homemade whole food smoothie, it's going to fill you up.
Yes.
It is very filling, not the junk that you get already packaged in a container. No, no, no,
The
no.
sugar, not the sugar.
No. We're talking, and that's one thing that people underestimate, that when you make a whole food green smoothie at home, that's going to fill you up. You're not going to feel deprived.
Yes. And one further thing that I would go with that is to make sure that you add some fat to that smoothie.
Yeah.
Because that helps you stay fuller. So fat would be like a nut butter or maybe some coconut butter. Coconut butter is also called coconut manna.
I never thought of adding the coconut.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That's really good because it's low sugar, but it's kind of sweet. And adding some protein. If you add a protein powder to that, and I would go with one that is not dairy based.
Yeah.
So just add some protein to that, or maybe have a couple eggs on the side. Have a scramble, an egg scramble in a smoothie. And let me tell you, be prepared for your life to change.
Right. So I would presume you have some recipes on your website for some smoothies.
Yes, I have some recipes on my website for smoothies. In fact, I have a smoothie template that helps, guides you, says, for fluid, you can use any of these things. For fat, you can use any of these things. I always say protein, fiber, and fat. So with the fiber being all of the vegetables, the fat keeping you full, and then the protein is also going to slow down that release of sugar, and it's going to make you feel like $1,000,000.
Awesome. Well, I'll make sure, so everyone, make sure you look down in the description box, because I'll have all of Monica's contact information and our website, so you can go check out some smoothie recipe ideas. So, I mean, that's amazing. I think that if people just do those simple things, they not only will they start to feel better, but they'll start to connect with their body in a way that they may have never had before. And they're going to start to open this awareness to how their body's feeling, how their body's functioning, and to perhaps start to connect some of their own dots.
Yes. And I also want to remind people that, or tell people actually, that in January 18th, we're starting a cleanse. And my cleanses are not starvation. They're not liquid cleanses or juice cleanses or anything like that. They're real food cleanses. In other words, I teach you how to get rid of the processed foods and get rid of the sugar and dairy and gluten and the things that are inflammatory, to eat a whole food diet. And so it's a 3-week cleanse. It's a 21-day cleanse.
Oh, great. So everyone, if you are looking, so if you want to do some type of structured program, do not go buy a fad diet book. Do not jump on any other fad diet train. Go check out Monica's detox program, because not only is it going to be structured in a way, but it's going to be monitored by someone that actually knows what they're talking about and that can actually change your life. So I highly recommend it. Make sure everyone, again, go down into the description box and you can get all of Monica's information. Oh my goodness, Monica, I think we're going to have another chat.
Yes.
We are just barely touching the tip of the iceberg here. I mean, I would love to dive deeper into some of the things that we've talked about. I really want to have a gut health conversation, because that's like a passion of mine, is gut health. And I know it's yours too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think we need to plan on having another chat here soon and diving in a little deeper.
Absolutely. Anytime, Leanne.
All right. Thank you so much, Monica, for taking the time to come chat with me. And I cannot wait to do it again.
I can't wait to do it again either. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, my friend. Having an amazing day.
Thank you.
Bye. See you soon. Bye.